Hello. Okay. Last day before shift 30 begins. In total defiance of some of the advice people have given about recording these videos, I am in fact sitting down, but I might stand up later. Maybe I'll dance. I don't, I do whatever I want. uh, I have to admit, like, there's this thing that's been happening over the past few months in particular, where, I mean, longer than that, but definitely these past couple months, where I've been feeling more and more and more at ease with following my own path, if you will. Doing what occurs to me to do. Coming up with ideas on my own that I've not heard necessarily of other people doing it, but are kind of a result of everything that I do and are just like creative evolutions of what I already do and what I already think about and what I already am inspired by. And I've been feeling more and more and more at ease with just doing that stuff. Not worrying about, is it a good idea? Is it gonna work? How should I do it? I just have been just having ideas and I do them now. And the funny thing about that is, at least right now, it does feel like it has come with a sense of sort of bravado and hubris. Definitely confidence, but sometimes maybe like a douchey level of self-absorption, to be honest. And I don't know what to make of that. I'm sure it'll change, so it's not like that's how I'm gonna feel always. But yeah, there's this just sense that like I'm doing what I want to do. I'm thinking about the things that I want to think about in my own way, doing the things that I want to do in my own way. And yeah, maybe other people are talking about that stuff and maybe other people have advice about that stuff, but I'm going to do it my way. Like, how else should I do it, really? Like, I want to discover it for myself and explore doing this stuff for myself. And it's funny. It leads to, yeah, me. I feel embarrassed about the sort of I don't know what better word to use right now besides just sort of like over the top confidence and self absorption that can kind of come with that. Um, and just last week, Michael Ashcroft finally responded to me on one of the posts about Shift 30. And he said something like, I just realized that this isn't called Shit 30 and it's actually called Shift 30, which I found hilarious. And I was like, oh, that should be a thing as well. And he said, oh, maybe you and Rob Hardy can make that, for whatever, as a joke, whatever. And I said, I honestly don't know what shit posting is. And I still don't. I don't really know what shit posting is. I've always seen people talk about it and apparently do it. I don't know what it means exactly. I don't know what it looks like. I think I probably do it. I say sort of random bullshit and make jokes and make fun of things sometimes, and no one cares. It doesn't make sense to people. So I don't know if that counts as shit posting, but I don't know what that is. And I said as much to Michael Ashcroft. I think I did say like, oh, we need some guidance here, but it was more tongue-in-cheek. But then he linked me to an actual guide by Visa. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting, but honestly, I don't want to read it. Like, I don't actually need advice for this. It's like, it felt douchey because it's Michael Ashcroft is giving me resources from someone who I also respect, Visa, about something that I suggested that I have some curiosity about. But then once he gave it to me, I'm like, yeah, I don't care, actually. I don't need to read that. I'm just going to shitpost in whatever way it occurs to me to do, and I'll learn as I go along. So, I don't know, that's an example, I guess, of this weird douchiness that I've been feeling lately, of people suggesting things to me, putting things on my radar, and just feeling no need or impulse or desire to really follow that rabbit hole. It's a cool experience, to be honest. I hope it's not forever. I hope that I move into a place at some point where I could describe it more accurately as humility, like genuine humility, where I feel like I'm on my path, I'm doing my thing, I'm confident about what I'm doing, but I don't see it as being any better than anyone else's thing, and that I have space emotionally, intellectually, to just listen to other people and hear what they have to say. I don't entirely feel like I'm in that space right now. Or it's very selective. Maybe that's it. Because I have been making these videos where I spent almost 7 hours reading Sasha's article on deep okayness. I'm in the middle of doing the same thing for Rob Hardy's article, or his manifesto, about his idea about the pattern in marketing and on media on the internet. So I am actually very interested in spending time looking deeply into and thinking deeply and listening deeply to what people have to say. It's just a very narrow scope at the moment. And I am really excited about Shift 30, which again, yes, starts tomorrow, because it is a smaller group, and it's hard on Twitter to just think and present yourself as so open and kind and warm-hearted and loving that you're just going to listen to everyone and entertain everyone's ideas. It just doesn't work for me. I don't have that much space. But we have this group now, 30 of us, and I'm excited to give this group my full attention, and get to know a smaller group, a more manageable group of people who are all kind of gravitating around the same ideas and the same excitement. That's really exciting to me. And to deepen those relationships and to get to know all of you is going to be a really wonderful experience. And so, yeah, I guess all that to say is I'm in a sort of weird but fun place right now emotionally, where I feel sort of ashamed of how not spread out my attention really is. But then again, I'm super excited to give my attention to this group of people who you all have joined me and put trust in me and expressed interest in doing this Shift 30 thing. So I think it's going to be really great. And just from talking to some of you so far, meeting some of you so far, those of you who I haven't met, it's been really cool. And it's not only cool to meet you, each of you, but the dynamic that we had as a group. I'm thinking of last weekend with the free writing workshop. The dynamic was awesome. Everyone was getting along. people were suggesting ways to make the group get along better and trust each other more and feel safer together, and that was freaking wonderful. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. I'm not gonna know everything about how to make this a good group, and a lot of you know way better than me. Maybe because you run your own groups, or maybe because you just know and you have ideas about how to help us all feel safer together, and I welcome that so much. So I'm just thinking now, what else is there to share on this final day going into Shift 30? I hope everyone, obviously for me, Shift 30 is much more prominent in my life than probably anyone else going into this, right? With me having come up with the idea and created this. But I hope everyone is having a wonderful day, relaxing, enjoying themselves, experiencing the pleasures of life, whatever that may be for you. I am eating some dark chocolate, and I went to the beach, and I went swimming at the beach and reading on the sand, and it was just absolutely... that's one of my favorite things. Whenever I just jump in the ocean and it's warm enough that I can just wear my swim shorts and I don't have to wear a what the fuck do you call it? You know what I mean. The thing to keep you warm. I don't know what it's called because I grew up in Hawaii and we don't wear those. But to just jump in the ocean on a sunny day, swim, and catch some waves, it makes me feel 20 years younger. It just fills me with life. And then to lay on the sand and relax and just feel like life is fucking perfect, And I wasn't on a beach that I grew up on. That would have made it all the more beautiful. But yeah, I was on a beach very, 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 very far away from where I grew up spending my time on the beach. But nonetheless, it was gorgeous, and I feel so thrilled to be alive right now. So grateful for all of you. So grateful for all my friends and my family and the beautiful weather and the sunshine, and it's great. So I'm trying to spend a day where I just feel good going into Shift 30, because this is about feeling good. It's not always going to feel good, and there's going to be times when it's stressful, and there's going to be fear and pain and shame and guilt and these darker, heavier things that come up. But we're going to move through them together, and this whole thing is about learning how individually and as a group to experience those things and not shove them away, but to feel them and to be friendly towards them and to allow them to be processed so that they get integrated through your body in a somatic way, and that you have a felt shift rather than just holding those uncomfortable feelings away from you, under the surface, putting it in a box in the closet of your mind. That doesn't allow you to grow. That's how you stay stuck. So I'm looking forward to a lot of growth and transformation and maturation through this next 30 days with all of you. Someone today expressed in a comment to one of my Shift 30 tweets about they wonder how possible it is to have a felt shift every day, and whether making that a goal might be counterproductive. And maybe they have a point. I think it really depends how you're orienting to this whole process. If you are approaching it like a challenge, as if it were like, I need to publish something every day, or like I need to do 100 kettlebell swings every day, or whatever kind of challenge you normally see, right? Or like Whole30, like I have to eat perfectly paleo every single day for 30 days. It's very rule based, it's very strict. There's a possibility for failure, and there's a very strict standard for what success looks like. Then I think that would possibly be counterproductive for this project of Shift 30. But I really am trying to emphasize over and over and over again that that's not what this is about. That's not how it's supposed to be like. This is however intense you want it to be. If you want to just come and be around the group, that in and of itself is facilitative of felt shifts. Eugene Genlin, I talked about it last night a little bit. One of the big foundations of his ideas is that people are not contents. We're not just big bags of stuff and ideas and memories and experiences and things like that. We are processes. We're relationships. We're in relationship with everything. Our body is in process, in interrelationship with everything in our body. We are in a relationship with everything around us, our environment, the other people around us. And he is very adamant in saying that one of the most fundamental, if not the most fundamental, factors in what makes a therapy relationship and a therapy process work is the relationship between the therapist, if we're talking technically about therapy, between the therapist and the client, or between the two people who are working together. It's the relationship that matters more than anything else, more than technique, more than modality. It's the relationship. Because the relationship is what allows that movement to begin happening in a person, even if they don't say anything. You've probably had this experience, right? You can sit in silence with one person and it feels completely easy. Maybe even restorative in some capacity, right? Maybe with a really wonderful partner that you've had, or a parent, if you have a really good relationship with your parents, or your brother or your sister, somebody, right? You can just sit in silence and you feel at peace, you feel safe, you feel like you can move through and process some of the stresses that you've been feeling. And on the other hand, there are people who you can sit with in silence and you feel totally tense, totally unsafe, totally rigid, totally awkward, And you're not saying anything. No one's saying anything. You're just sitting there. And yet you can have entirely different experiences. And so, again, you can just come to these calls. You don't have to talk. You can just listen and be around everybody. And this group, hopefully, and it seems like, is going to be of the sort that it's a very safe and supportive and encouraging place. And so simply being around this group may allow movement to occur. That's a very real thing. So, you don't have to try to make a felt shift happen every day. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But if you come and you're around these people, being around these people in and of itself might allow movement to begin happening. And then maybe you do want to try something. Maybe you do want to try a particular technique, or maybe you do want to work with me or someone else, one-on-one in some capacity, on a call or otherwise, And then you can go deeper into something, but you don't have to. So again, if you were approaching shift 30 like a challenge of like, I must experience a felt shift every day, and if I don't, I'm failing and doing it wrong, then yeah, that's probably going to make it harder and possibly be counterproductive. But that's really not the intention of this at all. That's pretty antithetical to what I'm hoping this is going to be. So I am standing now, by the way. I don't know if it sounds different. I am a little further from the computer, so maybe it's quieter. But yeah, I'm standing now. I can move around a little more. I am gesturing wildly as turtling. What is your actual name on Twitter? Turtle. His pinned tweet is like gesturing wildly. That's what I've been doing as I'm talking. Because it helps, Speaking is a whole body process. Communication is not just zeros and ones, because we are not just computers. We are living processes. Speaking comes from the body, and the things we want to say come from the body. And so using our body to express that shit helps, it very much helps. And that's what focusing is about, in a very subtle way. So I think I'll end this here. Shift 30 starts tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time. I will be sending out a Zoom link by email and to our Twitter group. And again, this is a party, it's not a kickoff call. So if you want to show up to the party, if you want to be one of the first ones to show up to the party, please, I will be there and I will welcome you, and we will hang out and we will get the party going, and then if you can't make that, come to another one. I think probably I will do another call tomorrow I will send these details by email and Twitter, so I don't know if this is going to be the final word here, but probably I'll do one at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and then maybe another one at... No, tomorrow I won't be doing one at 1 p.m. Pacific time because Rob Hardy is running a workshop, and I'm going to be at that in the middle of the day. But I might do another one in the evening. So I will let everyone know about that. But definitely there will be a call 8 a.m. Pacific. So if you can make it, that would be amazing. We'll get to know each other. We'll do stuff. We'll talk about stuff. And then one in the evening potentially. And then again Saturday. And then probably Sunday. And probably pretty much every day after that. I might ask and suggest that we take weekends off, because again, I don't want to utterly drain myself and everyone else by trying to go too hard with this. That's counterproductive. But I do want to spend a lot of time with you guys, so I'll follow up with details and we'll figure it out. So that's it. This is the last Shift 30 journal before we actually begin, and it will be very interesting to see how these evolve once Shift 30 is happening and I'm getting to talk to every day and have a bit more time spent dedicated to actually doing shift related work, um, undoubtedly there will be a lot to talk about, a lot to reflect on. So I'm looking forward to making these going into the next month as well. And for those of you who listen, I hope that it's been fun and worthwhile. And thank you. Thank you for listening. So I will see you tomorrow, or I will see you Saturday. I will see you sometime very soon. And have an amazing day. Until then.